Today is the 13th of Adar, 2, the fast of Esther. It's March 23rd. In the Hebrew calendar, it's 5,776. In the regular calendar, it's 2016, and I'm initiating today the saying of Tehillim, the saying of Psalms, as a nonviolent way to combat ISIS and the problems that ISIS is causing, not only in the Jewish world, but in the non-Jewish world, which includes the Muslim world. So I want people to join with me in the saying of Psalms as a nonviolent way to combat ISIS. It's a perfect day to start here, one day after the problems that just occurred in Belgium. And it happens, everything happens for a reason. So let's get right into it. Psalms, Tehillim, are actually prayers. Prayer comes from Malkuth of the Asaya world. It's our lowest world, our physical world. It's Malkuth of the lowest world, of our world. And miraculously, tomorrow, which will be Purim, is called the Keter Malkuth. This Malkuth, this lowest aspect, comes and rises to the top, becomes a Keter Malkuth. So let's get right into this, because prayer is the way to combat action, non-violent things, ahisma. The non is higher than the activity. And as we proceed in saying of these Psalms, it's a non-violent way to show our desire and to ask Hashem to intervene at this time the way he intervened in the original Purim. So let's do Psalm 1. Start from Psalm 1. I'm going to read it in English or any local language that you choose, and read it in Hebrew. Remember, there are 150 Psalms. There are 5 books of Psalms. It's a strange parallelism that there are 5 books of Moses and the 5 books of Psalms. The 5 books of Moses are the Torah, the Mikra, and the 5 books of Psalms are its corresponding Tehillim, Tefillot, prayers. Psalms are prayers. Let's read it in English first here. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law does he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in its season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. And in Hebrew, Ashrei ha'ish asher lo halach ba'atzat rashaim uv derek hata'im lo amad uv moshev latzim lo yashav ki im batorat Adonai hafso uv torato yige yomam valala v'haya ka'etz shatul al pelagei mayim asher piro yitan be'ito va'alei hu lo yabol v'kol asher ya'aseh Yatz liach Lo kain harashaim ki'im kamot asher penu ruach al kain lo yakumu rashaim ba mishfat V'hata'im ba'adat zadikim ki yodea Adonai derek zadakim v'derek rasha'im toved. Now we could analyze this psalm, and what I might like to do is just say a few words here, or maybe not. Today, just the saying of the psalm will be enough as an introduction. Psalm 1 is sometimes said when erecting a monument to the grave. As I said, there are 150 psalms. 150 is the gematria of the word ka'as. Kaf, ayin, samech, which means anger. Anger is the one thing that should be extirpated from the human. This recitation of the 150 Psalms extirpates, roots out anger. What we are facing today in terrorism and in ISIS is also our reaction to all this, is how we handle it. It is our anger that gives the reaction. Remember, we can't stop events, but we can change our reaction to events. We have a choice to respond with violence or nonviolence. It's always funny, it's always been strange to me that the word nonviolence contains violence. Just like ahisma contains hisma, violence. It also is strange to me that the word Ein Sof contains a negative. The highest levels are negative at the root. Negative of the lesser level. Violence is the lesser level. We, as Jewish people, combat violence with psalms. We want to make a protective shield around Israel, the Israeli people, around the world. It is up to us to recite psalms, continuously recite psalms. In my personal ways, I don't care what psalm you recite, any of the 150. I don't care if you recite all of them or one, or even the first letter of the first one. And just imagine what that letter would be. What would be the first letter of the first psalm? Aleph. Aleph of Ashrei. So in my estimation, if you just recite the first letter of the first psalm, you understand everything. Prayer to Hashem, for Hashem to act, not our violence and our society of violence and our policing and our armies and our killings, as opposed to our Tehillim. In subsequent videos, I'll be doing more explication of the word Tehillim, its gematriot, its extensions into society and to other aspects of Judaism. When to recite Tehillim. But in the final analysis, one recites Tehillim when one wants to pray. And one should be in constant prayer. Let me recite the first psalm again today. The recitation of psalm here I'm doing this video, but it's the fast of Esther. The day before Purim. To ask Hashem to intervene in these turbulent times. Ashrei, blessed they have here. I say happy. Ashrei Aish. Happy is the man. Asher lo halach. That doesn't walk in the counsel of the ungodly. and nor standeth in the way of sinners, or sits in the seat of the scornful. So he doesn't walk, he doesn't stand, he doesn't sit. 3 stages of development. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, in the Torah. Hefetz is the verb used. And in the Torah, he yigeh, meditates. The word gimel. In the analysis of this, the gimel is the major word, major letter. Yomam v'layla. He meditates day and night, all the time. His prayer is all the time. His Torah is all the time. The distinction between Torah and Tefillah, between Torah and Psalms, very difficult. When one is reciting Psalms, remember it used to be a woman's book, almost a woman's Torah, because she wasn't obligated to read Torah. The Shekinah is found in the Psalms. The different spelling of Tehillim and Tillim. Tillim 480 is the gematria of Sitra Akra, Tehillim. Tehillim 485 with the hay. It's because the Shekinah has come down into the Tehillim. And then the last line, for the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. Ki yodei Adonai derek zadakim, all Israel are zadikim. And derek rashaim tovad. Toved. Shall die, shall perish, shall end their existence. The ways of the Rashaim, not that the people, but the ways of the ungodly shall end. And so this is a changing of the direction. We want a non-violent method for Hashem to intervene. We want Hashem to do the work. Our work is to ask and direct Hashem, not through violence, but Judaism is non-violence. Let me repeat it. Judaism is non-violence. That's what is the distinction between Jew and a non-religious person. Religiosity is non-violence. As opposed to the secular approach. So it's a level of understanding, a level of development that we aspire to. Non-violence, the resuscitation of Psalms. Now, non-violence doesn't mean passiveness. We still have desires, ratzon. We still want to get our way. But we do it in a non-violent way. This is the distinction. And this is not much different than Gandhi or Martin Luther King. For us now, starting today, on the 13th of Adar 2, 5776, we're starting the recitation of Psalms, invoking Psalms as a non-violent approach against the violence and terror and the misdirection of ISIS, which is not representative of Islam, but a fragment. It's, in a certain sense, a secular fragment. So it's not even included in the religion of Islam. And for that, we invoke Psalms, especially like on this one last line of the first Psalm today that I'm reading, Psalm 1. Ki yodei Adonai derek zadakim, v'derek rashaim toved. The ways of the ungodly the Rasha shall perish. And that is the initiation of my project to say Tehillim, say Psalms, to combat the violence of ISIS and terrorism that's affecting our world today.